Welcome to another exciting episode of Howard's Opinion. I'm your host, Howard, and I'm thrilled to have you joining me today as we dive into the world of sports. From the latest updates to in-depth analysis, we'll be covering it all on this show. So, sit back, relax, and let's get started. Today we're kicking off with a story that's been making waves in the NFL. You might have heard that T.J. Watt, the star edge rusher for the Pittsburgh Steelers, has finally signed a massive contract extension. This deal makes him one of the highest-paid defensive players in the league, and it's a huge relief for Steelers fans who were worried about losing their defensive centerpiece. But what does this mean for the Steelers' chances this season? With Watt on board, along with some other big offseason acquisitions like Aaron Rodgers, DK Metcalf, and Jalen Ramsey, Pittsburgh is looking like a serious contender. However, as we all know, having talent on paper doesn't always translate to success on the field. Watt's contract is a whopping deal that sets a new standard for edge rushers in the NFL. It's likely that other top players at the position, like Micah Parsons, will be looking for similar deals in the near future. This raises interesting questions about the salary cap and how teams will manage their rosters in the years to come. As we explore this story further, we'll also be discussing the implications of Watt's contract on the Steelers' roster and their chances of making a deep playoff run. Can they finally break their postseason drought and bring a championship to Pittsburgh? We'll be right back with more fascinating sports news on Howard's Opinion. Welcome back to Howard's Opinion, folks. We're glad you're still with us after that fascinating first segment. Now, let's dive into some exciting news from the world of college football. I've got a story that's sure to get all you gridiron fans talking. We're heading to Penn State, where quarterback Drew Allar is gearing up for what could be a monumental season. This talented young player had a decision to make after last year's campaign: head to the NFL or return to school for another year. And, as we now know, he chose the latter. According to reports, Allar was projected as a first-round draft pick, but he opted to come back and finish some unfinished business with his team. His coach, James Franklin, is thrilled to have him back, saying, "Most people had him projected as a first-round draft choice last year, and he decided to come back to school. I'm a big Drew fan, but what can we expect from Allar this season?" Well, for starters, he's been working hard on his downfield passing game, an area where he struggled at times last year. He's also been studying his mistakes, trying to understand why he made certain decisions on the field. And with a new defensive coordinator in Jim Knowles, who previously coached against him at Ohio State, Allar is looking forward to learning from his expertise. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, Howard, what about the big games? Can Allar perform under pressure? That's a fair question, folks. After all, he does have a bit of a history of struggling against top-ranked opponents. But, as he himself said, he's been working on his process, trying to stay level-headed and focused, even in the face of adversity. It's going to be an intriguing season for Penn State, that's for sure. Can Allar lead his team to victory and silence some of his critics? We'll just have to wait and see. One thing's for certain, though. This young quarterback has got a lot of potential, and we're excited to see how he develops. Stay tuned for our final story of the day, right here on Howard's Opinion. Welcome back to Howard's Opinion, folks. We're wrapping up today's show with a story that's got me shaking my head. You might have heard about the young basketball phenom, Alijah Arenas, who's a freshman at USC. This kid was supposed to be a game-changer on the court, a 5-star recruit with a ton of potential. But unfortunately, his season is already being derailed by an injury. According to reports, Arenas has suffered a torn meniscus and will need surgery, which will keep him out for at least 6-8 months. That's a tough break for the kid, especially considering he was involved in a serious car accident just a few months ago. I mean, this young man has already been through so much, and now he's facing another setback. Now, I'm not going to sit here and speculate about the details of his injury or the accident, But what I will say is that it's a reminder that life can be unpredictable. One minute you're on top of the world, and the next you're facing a challenge that can change everything. Arenas' story is a testament to the resilience of young people, though. Despite all he's been through, he's still got his whole career ahead of him, and I've no doubt he'll bounce back from this. But for now, it's a tough pill to swallow, especially for USC fans who are hoping to see him make an impact on the court. As we close out today's show, I just want to say that sometimes life doesn't go as planned. We all face setbacks and challenges, but it's how we respond that really matters. Alijah Arenas' story is a reminder to appreciate the ups and downs, to stay humble, and to keep pushing forward, even when things get tough. That's all for today's Howard's Opinion. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, these are some of my humble thoughts.